Hi, everybody. I'm Jen Baker, behaviorist in Benicia Unified School District. And for this installment of Quicker Tips, today we're going to be talking about what we can do to get ready and to get our kids ready for going back to school. So I will say that this is a short video. It's just a preview. I do have a longer video also available by the same name, Ready, Set, School, that's on the same YouTube channel that you're watching right now. So Ready, Set, School, here we go. So how do we even begin to prepare to return to school after being out for so long? Returning to school, even under normal circumstances, like after a vacation or like an extended break, like summer vacation, is exciting, but also a little daunting and a little scary for some kids. So what we need first and foremost is a ton of reassurance that we're all in this together and that the adults at home and the adults at school will take care of them and that they're safe. The second main theme is to provide empowerment through communication and by focusing on things that we can control, such as teaching safety skills. So the behavior change mantra, anytime we want our kids or our teenagers to be doing something that they're not doing or to be learning something new, it all comes down to this mantra: decide what we want in clear and operational terms, teach what we want, and reinforce what we want. So what does it look like as far as deciding what we want? We have this new thing called the COVID curriculum. Okay, we have basic hygiene practices and hand washing, increased hand washing. We have mask wearing. We have social distancing, touch-free greetings. Okay, since hugs and handshakes and high fives are off limits. We have new and more frequent cleaning routines. There's going to be a lot of new procedures in the classroom, and also there's going to be a lot of new procedures at the school that are new or changing that they need to learn. So pinpointing these things. The next thing we do is we spend time teaching. We have something that we've talked about before called behavioral skills training. The main point here is that teaching is more than telling. The first step in behavior skills training is to provide instruction in what it is that you want, like following a new schedule or washing your hands after you sneeze, whatever it is that you're working on. But a lot of us are already doing this already, but the problem is sometimes we start and end here when it comes to behavior. Even though we understand in sports or in academics that we have to do more than just tell kids, we need to model how to do something. We need to have them try it while we watch. We need to give feedback if they get it right or not. A lot of times with behavior, we get stuck in step number one, which is just repeat ourselves again and again. I've told them 100 times and they're not doing it. So please remember that effective teaching is more than just telling. There's a lot more in the longer video, and there's some great resources on the parent webpage. But now that we've decided what we want, we also have to spend time talking about it, teaching, modeling, practicing, and giving them feedback. A conversation wouldn't be complete without talking about reinforcing what we want. Reinforcement is the glue that makes behavior stick. And we have to remember kids are being asked to do a lot of things that they didn't have to do before: social distancing, wearing a mask, waking up earlier. For most kids, behavior-specific praise and acknowledgement is enough. But if it's not, check out our parent webpage for great ideas about how to use contracts, incentives, point systems, things like that, if you have a kid or a teenager that needs a little more motivation to do something, especially that's new, hard, or non-preferred. Conversation also wouldn't be complete without talking about setting up new schedules and routines. It is all about schedules and routines. Schedules is the big picture, routines is the little steps that make up each thing on our schedule. Overall, there's a ton of research that shows routines and schedules are a critical foundational piece for reducing stress and anxiety and boosting productivity. So start to take a look at reestablishing or revising your home routines to include changes for returning to in-person school. I'm branching out a little bit to talk briefly about social emotional supports. the teaching and the reinforcement and the schedules as a behaviorist, that's kind of where a lot of my focus lies. But in this age of a ton of uncertainty and more stress and mental health issues and depression and all kinds of stuff going on with kids and adults, again, a conversation wouldn't be complete without social emotional support. So 3 things across the board I pulled from psychotherapists, medical doctors, certified behavior analysts, lots of different kinds of professionals. These were the 3 themes that came up. Modeling empathy, praising flexibility and resilience, and acknowledging uncertainty and talking honestly. So when it comes to empathy, we have to remember that a lot of us have there's a lot of contention going on right now. People have different levels of feeling safe, different ideas about what safe is and what it isn't, when school should be back, what it should look like, why it hasn't happened sooner. There's all kinds of strong opinions out there. So it's really important that we model for our kids. And it's important to be empathetic to groups that don't necessarily agree with us. Praising flexibility and resilience. The schedules are important, but as important is we cannot plan for every single scenario. This is uncharted territory. So as much as trying to plan ahead, it's also important to model effective coping skills, modeling how to deal with uncertainty and how to demonstrate being flexible when our best laid plans change, okay? You can also demonstrate and model how to deal with stress, and there's some tips in the longer video about how to do that. Finally, the CDC and a lot of the other professionals that I looked at talked a lot about acknowledging the uncertainty, talking honestly with kids in developmentally appropriate language. Parents have a huge role in helping kids make sense of what kids are hearing and interpreting from friends and other people and what they hear on television or read online. So it's important to validate emotions, let them know it's okay to feel upset or fearful. And not necessarily trying to fix everything, but focusing on what they can control, emphasize the concrete things we can do. And most importantly, not assuming that their concerns about returning to school are the same as ours. We don't know that. So we need to ask them what they're concerned about and correct misinformation if they have the wrong idea about something, and then help work them through their feelings about what it is that they are concerned about. And again, there's more specifics in the longer video. So this is from a doctor at Massachusetts General Hospital. He said at any age, kids or teenagers, they want to know 3 things. Am I safe? Are the people taking care of me safe? And how is this going to affect my daily life? So taking that into consideration, here's just a quick summary of what we can do now to get our kids ready. Adapt our schedules and routines, emphasize, teach, reinforce skills from the COVID curriculum, the mask, the social distancing, all of that stuff, the increased cleaning procedures, using reminders, reinforcement, and lots of reassurance, modeling empathy for people that have beliefs different than our own about what's going on, praising flexibility and resilience instead of trying to plan or prevent all problems, and acknowledging uncertainty by talking honestly. So if you want more information about this, if you want to see the longer video, check out the longer video by the same name on the YouTube where you're watching this. It's on our playlist. Or you can check out the parent resource page. I've recently added something. There's the second column there, what you can do now to prepare your children for returning to school. It is chock full of strategies, tips. There's a checklist from the CDC, all kinds of things that might be useful as we start to get ready for what's next. So I hope to see all of you, maybe even in person soon. Bye for now.